Commander Kai Reyes stared at the alien vessel through the viewscreen. The ship hung motionless against the backdrop of stars, its elegant curves disrupted by gaping holes. Scorch marks told a story of recent battle. Life signs? Kai asked. Lieutenant Daniels worked her console. One biosignature, Commander. Weak but stable. Not human, obviously, but humanoid. Any response to our hails? Negative, sir. Kai drummed his fingers against his chair. Protocol when encountering unknown species was to maintain distance and report to command. But that single life sign made the decision impossible. Ready a boarding team. Full quarantine protocols, he ordered. I'll lead personally. Sir, his XO, Commander Wei, stepped forward. Regulations state. I'm aware of regulations. But I'm not leaving someone to die if we can help it. 20 minutes later, Kai led a 5-person team through the airlock. The alien vessel's artificial gravity still functioned, but emergency lighting bathed everything in unsettling blue. The architecture was organic, with curved walls flowing into each other. Life sign is 50 meters ahead, reported Ensign Rodriguez. Power fluctuations throughout. Whatever hit them did a thorough job. They moved through corridors littered with debris. No bodies, which struck Kai as odd. They entered what appeared to be a command center. Control panels lined the walls, displays flickering with alien script. There, slumped against a central console, was their survivor. She had silvery blue skin that shimmered even in dim lighting. Her face was humanoid, with a pronounced brow ridge and slightly larger, almond-shaped eyes. A crest of crystalline filaments ran along her scalp instead of hair. Most striking was her attire, unmistakably military armor, damaged in several places. Blood of deep purple seeped from a wound in her side. Medical, Kai ordered, and Dr. Nishimura rushed forward. Commander, she said after scanning, I can stabilize her, but we need our medical bay. As they prepared to move her, the alien's eyes snapped open, startling violet against blue skin. She moved with unexpected speed, seizing the doctor's wrist and producing a glowing blade from nowhere. Whoa! Kai raised his hands. We're here to help. The alien spoke in a language none recognized, melodic but harsh, syllables cutting like glass. We can't understand you, Kai said slowly. But you're injured. Your ship is damaged. We want to help. The alien studied him. Blood continued seeping from her wound, strength visibly failing despite her fierce demeanor. Finally, she lowered the blade. Dr. Nishimura approached again. I need to treat your wound, she gestured. The alien allowed this, though her eyes remained fixed on Kai with suspicion and grief. A shudder ran through the vessel. Rodriguez checked his scanner. Commander, power core destabilizing. 10 minutes, max. Move out, Kai ordered. The alien attempted to stand but stumbled. Kai caught her, supporting her weight. She stiffened but didn't resist. As they hurried back, the alien suddenly pulled against Kai's support, gesturing urgently down a side corridor. We don't have time, Kai said, but she pulled herself from his grasp and staggered down the passage. Cursing, Kai followed. She led them to a secure chamber containing a small cylindrical object, glowing with blue-white energy. The alien pressed her palm against a panel, and the security field dissipated. She took it reverently, securing it within her armor. Whatever that is, I hope it's worth dying for, Kai muttered. They made it to the horizon with barely 2 minutes to spare. Through the viewport, they watched the alien vessel implode, consumed by light. In Medical Bay, the ship's AI struggled to analyze the alien's language, producing fragmented translation. Valina, the alien said, touching her chest. Last of Selenari. I'm Commander Kai Reyes. United Earth Ship Horizon. Dead, Valina said. All dead. Hunters, coming. Hunters. Who attacked your ship? Alarms blared throughout the horizon. Wei's voice came over comms, Commander to bridge. Unknown vessels approaching, energy signatures match whatever attacked the alien ship. On the bridge, tactical displays showed 3 vessels closing fast, sleek, predatory ships with forward-swept wings. They're hailing us, Wei reported. The view screen showed a humanoid figure with an insectoid face, compound eyes and mandibles that clicked as it spoke. The translator produced. Human vessel. You harbor an enemy of the Kravari Dominion. Surrender the Selenari female immediately. This is Commander Reyes. The individual aboard is under our protection. Explain your hostilities. The Kravari's mandibles clicked. The Selenari are a plague. A corruption. We have been tasked with their extermination. Surrender her, or be destroyed. We have protocols regarding asylum seekers, Kai responded, buying time. The horizon was outgunned with no backup within 8 light hours. You have one time unit to comply, the Kravari stated before disconnecting. Valina arrived on the bridge, supported by a medical exoskeleton. They will not stop. The Kravari are extermination specialists, commissioned to eliminate my people. Why? Kai demanded. Valina touched the cylindrical object. Because of this. The Selenari Codex. My people's knowledge, and technologies the Dominion fears. Kai processed rapidly. Retreat meant abandoning Valina, potentially the last of her kind, to genocide. Plot emergency jump to Kerrigan Nebula, he ordered. The ion interference should mask our signature. Prepare countermeasures. Sir, Wei protested, emergency jumps risk drive failure. The nebula is uncharted. Those are our orders, Commander, Kai turned to Valina. We're not surrendering you. But are you worth starting an interstellar war over? Valina straightened despite her injuries, undeniable strength in her violet eyes. My people were peaceful scientists. We developed technologies to heal worlds, not destroy them. The Dominion fears what we might share. She held his gaze. I cannot tell you I am worth a war. But what I protect is worth preserving. Something in her words resonated with Kai. Throughout human history, how many cultures had been lost to fear? How many libraries burned, knowledge destroyed? Countermeasures ready, Lieutenant Park announced. Jump calculated, added Wei disapprovingly. The Kravari vessels moved into attack formation, weapons powering up. Deploy countermeasures, Kai ordered. Execute jump on my mark. As electronic warfare packages deployed, Kai turned to Valina. I hope you're right about being worth it. For the first time, something like a smile touched her lips. As do I, Commander. As do I. Jump now. The stars streaked as the horizon tore through spacetime, hurtling toward uncertain sanctuary with the last Selenari, and her hunters, in pursuit. The emergency jump tore them from normal space in a violent flash. Alarms blared as the horizon systems struggled with the strain. Drive status. Kai shouted over the chaos. Quantum field collapsing, Lieutenant Park reported, fingers flying across her console. Jump field unstable. The ship bucked, throwing crew members against restraints. Valina remained standing, the medical exoskeleton compensating for the turbulence. We're not going to make the nebula, Commander Wei announced grimly. Plotting emergency exit coordinates. Where? Kai demanded. Nearest system is Proxima Outpost. Abandoned mining facility. Minimal resources, but defensible position. Make it happen. With a final shudder, the horizon dropped back into normal space. Through the view screen, a dusty orange planet loomed before them, its surface scarred by massive strip mines and industrial ruins. Drive core critically damaged, Park reported. We've got partial propulsion, but another jump is impossible without repairs. Any sign of pursuit? Kai asked. Negative, Wei responded. Emergency exit appears successful. But they'll track our jump signature eventually. Kai turned to Valina, who studied the approaching planet with unreadable eyes. Is that thing you're carrying worth all this? Valina's translator had improved enough for basic communication. The codex contains my people's legacy. Scientific achievements, cultural history. Her violet eyes met his. And defensive technologies that could protect your people when the Dominion eventually reaches your territory. So this isn't just about you. It never was. Kai nodded. Wei, get us into orbit. We need to assess damage and establish a defensible position planetside. 4 hours later, Kai led a landing party including Valina, Dr. Nishimura, and 8 security personnel toward the abandoned mining facility. The Horizon remained in orbit, undergoing emergency repairs under Wei's supervision. Proxima Outpost sprawled across a rocky plateau, a collection of prefab structures surrounded by massive processing equipment. Dust storms had partly buried the outer buildings, but the central complex remained intact. Not exactly 5-star accommodations, Ensign Rodriguez commented as they approached the main structure. Atmospheric composition within human tolerance, Dr. Nishimura confirmed. But I'm monitoring Valina's vitals closely. Her physiology processes oxygen differently. Valina had discarded the medical exoskeleton, moving with fluid grace despite her injuries. Her armor had self-repaired somewhat, the metallic surface seeming almost alive. My people adapted to many environments during our explorations, she said, noting Nishimura's concern. This atmosphere is uncomfortable, but not harmful. Inside the facility, emergency power activated at their presence. Dust-covered equipment hummed reluctantly to life. The operations center offered a defensible position with multiple escape routes. Set up perimeter security, Kai ordered. Rodriguez, get communications established with the Horizon. As the humans bustled about, Valina examined her surroundings with evident curiosity. Your species builds, practically, she observed. Functional, without embellishment. This was a mining outpost, Kai explained. Abandoned when the rare earth deposits were depleted. Nobody wasted resources on aesthetics. Yet you decorated this. She indicated a small hologram on the command console, a coastal landscape with crashing waves. Kai smiled slightly. Personal touch. Command regulations allow one personal item at your station. What is this place? Big Sur. California coastline on Earth. Valina studied it. Your homeworld has beauty. And yours? Something flickered across her features. Had. Selenar was luminous. Crystal forests reflecting triple moons. Cities built within living mountains. She touched the codex secured at her hip. Now it exists only in memory. And data. I'm sorry, Kai said simply. Their moment of understanding was interrupted by Rodriguez. Commander. We've established comms with the Horizon. Wei's voice crackled through. Commander, repairs proceeding, but drive core requires replacement components. We've detected energy signatures at the system's edge. The Kravari found our trail faster than anticipated. Estimate 12 hours before they reach our position. Understood. Continue repairs. We'll secure our position here. Turning to his team, Kai outlined their situation. We have 12 hours to prepare. This facility has mining equipment we can repurpose for defense. Dr. Nishimura, assess medical supplies. Rodriguez, inventory weapons and ammunition. As the team dispersed, Valina approached. Commander, I must ask something of you. What is it? If capture becomes inevitable, you must destroy the codex. And me. Kai stared at her. That's not how we operate. The Kravari would extract information through neural scanning. Painful, but effective. The Codex contains technologies that could devastate worlds if misused. There are always alternatives to sacrifice. Valina's expression hardened. Is that human optimism speaking? Or ignorance? Experience, Kai countered. I've faced no-win scenarios before. They're rarely as hopeless as they first appear. Their standoff was interrupted by a distant rumble. Security Chief Ortiz rushed in. Commander. Perimeter sensors detecting movement from the northern ridge. Kravari. Negative. Indigenous lifeforms. Large ones. Valina tilted her head, listening. Subterranean predators. The mining disrupted their hunting grounds. They sense our presence. Wonderful, Kai muttered. We needed another complication. The facility shuddered as something massive moved beneath them. Vibration patterns suggest pack hunting behavior, Valina analyzed. They're surrounding the complex. So we're trapped between alien hunters above and monsters below, Rodriguez summarized grimly. Not monsters, Valina corrected. Simply predators responding to territorial disruption. Predictable, unlike the Kravari. Kai noticed how she observed the tactical display, her posture betraying military training. You weren't just a scientist, were you? Valina met his gaze steadily. Among my people, all who carried the Codex were both scholar and guardian. I commanded our research vessel's defense forces. Then help us prepare. If you know the Kravari, what can we expect? For the next several hours, they fortified their position. Valina's tactical insights proved invaluable. She worked alongside the human soldiers, adapting mining equipment into makeshift defenses. The underground creatures made periodic attempts to breach the facility, but strategic sonic deterrence kept them at bay. During a brief respite, Kai found Valina studying the facility schematics. You should rest, he suggested. Dr. Nishimura says your injuries are still healing. My physiology requires less recovery time than yours, she replied without looking up. Besides, I noticed something. She highlighted a section of the schematics. These tunnels. They extend beyond the mining operation, into natural cave systems. Potential escape route? Perhaps. Or another vulnerability. She hesitated. Commander. Kai. I must know. Why risk your ship, your crew, for a stranger? An alien? Kai considered the question. When I joined Earth Fleet, I took an oath to protect life. Not just human life. Noble sentiments often falter when tested. Then let's call it enlightened self-interest. If the Dominion eliminated your people for their knowledge, humanity could be next. Valina studied him. A pragmatic answer. Yet your actions speak of more than practicality. Before Kai could respond, the comms crackled with Wei's voice. Commander, Kravari vessels have entered orbit. 3 warships, deploying landing craft. ETA to your position, 30 minutes. Status of repairs. Drive core still non-functional. We're implementing defensive measures, but we're outgunned. Hold position. Avoid engagement if possible. Kai turned to find his team watching, awaiting orders. Fear showed on some faces, determination on others. We knew the odds when we made our choice, he said. Ortiz, finalize defensive positions. Rodriguez, prepare emergency evacuation protocols using those tunnel systems Valina identified. As they moved to comply, Valina approached, the Codex in her hands. If we survive, she said quietly, I will share knowledge that can help your people. Not weapons, but defenses. Healing technologies. Ways to communicate across vast distances. When we survive, Kai corrected, we'll figure that out together. Outside, the howl of atmospheric entry announced the arrival of their hunters. Kai moved to the command console, bringing up external cameras. Kravari landing craft descended through swirling dust clouds, their insectoid design reminiscent of prehistoric dragonflies. Valina stepped beside him, her presence somehow reassuring despite everything. "Ready?" he asked. She activated her energy blade, its blue glow casting strange shadows across her silvery features. For the first time since her rescue, Kai saw not just determination in her violet eyes, but hope. "Ready, Commander." The Kravari attacked at dawn. 6 landing craft disgorged insectoid warriors with chitinous exoskeletons. They deployed sonic cannons that sent vibrations through the facility's foundations. "They're agitating the underground predators," Valina explained. "Typical Kravari tactic, let local fauna do the initial work." Kai watched massive soil bulges indicating creatures awakening. "Rodriguez, activate sonic deterrence." The repurposed mining equipment activated. The approaching disturbances retreated. "Incoming hostiles from 3 directions," Ortiz reported. Kravari warriors advanced in formation. Energy weapons hummed ominously. "Hold positions," Kai ordered. "Let them enter our defense zone." Mining lasers waited silently. When the first wave crossed the threshold, Valina nodded to Rodriguez. "Now." The lasers activated, cutting through the Kravari front line. "First wave neutralized," Ortiz reported. "They're regrouping, adapting." "They always do," Valina said. The Kravari learn quickly. The comms crackled with Wei's voice, Kravari vessels jamming communications. "This may be our last contact. Drive repairs ongoing. Maintain stealth protocols. If no contact within 24 hours. We're not leaving you, sir." "That's an order, Commander Wei." Valina studied him. "Your second-in-command is loyal. Wei's a good officer." The facility rocked with massive impact. Alarms blared. "Heavy artillery," Ortiz shouted. "Northern section compromised." "Fall back to secondary positions," Kai ordered. "Rodriguez, prepare tunnel evacuation." As they retreated, Kai gripped Valina's arm. "Why does the Dominion want your people extinct? What justifies genocide?" "The Selenari developed quantum communication, instantaneous across any distance. And biological restoration techniques. We could heal devastated ecosystems, reverse extinctions. Those sound beneficial. To the Dominion, control is everything. They maintain power through restricted communications and resource scarcity. Our technologies threaten their power structure." An explosion separated them from the main group. "Commander." Rodriguez called through comms. "Are you all right?" "We're cut off." "Proceed to the tunnels. We'll find another route." Valina led Kai through maintenance passages. "This connects to the main network." They navigated through damaged sections. Valina moved gracefully, her blade illuminating their path. "You handle yourself well for a scientist," Kai observed. "Among Selenari, disciplines weren't separated. I led research expeditions to hostile environments. They encountered Kravari patrols. Working together, they used a rigged flare to blind the insectoids' compound eyes before dispatching them. Effective teamwork, Valina noted. They reached a vertical shaft connecting to natural caverns. Kai descended first. His line snapped halfway down. He landed hard, injuring his ankle. Valina descended gracefully beside him. "You're injured." "Just twisted. I'll manage." Massive caverns stretched in all directions, illuminated by bioluminescent fungi. "Life signs northeast," Valina reported. "Likely your team." They moved through the caverns, Kai limping. Crystal formations refracted their lights in prismatic patterns. "These formations," Valina said softly. Similar to Selenar. Your homeworld had systems like this. Our cities were built within living crystal. We shaped it, communed with it. Emotion colored her voice. She froze suddenly. Something moved ahead, massive reptilian creatures with multiple limbs and eyeless faces. Don't move, Valina whispered. They hunt through vibration. One approached Valina. She began humming, a melodic pattern resonating with surrounding crystals. The predator retreated, its pack following. Selenari communication techniques, she explained. Many predators respond to specific harmonics. They continued, eventually detecting weapons fire ahead. They found Rodriguez's team surrounded by Kravari forces in a massive cavern. They're trapped, Kai observed. Valina removed a device from her armor. This communicator can create a sonic pulse through these crystals. It might disorient the Kravari, but someone must remain to modulate frequencies. I'll do it, Kai volunteered. No. Your ankle is injured. You wouldn't escape. I'm not letting you sacrifice yourself. This isn't sacrifice. It's tactics. Her violet eyes held his. Trust me. They signaled the team below. Valina positioned her device against a crystal formation. You'll have 30 seconds before they recover. And you? She smiled faintly. I'll find my way back. Kai descended while Valina activated the device. The sonic pulse disoriented the Kravari, allowing the humans to escape. Kai looked back to see Valina disappear into a side tunnel. Hours later, they established a new position near the surface. Kravari have occupied the main complex, Rodriguez reported. They're searching the tunnel systematically. Any sign of the horizon? Negative. Kravari still in orbit. As daylight faded, sensors detected movement approaching. Everyone tensed. Hold fire, Kai ordered as a familiar silhouette appeared. Valina entered, carrying the codex. Relief washed through Kai. Cutting it close, he said. I took a scenic route, she replied. The Kravari have deployed neural scanners throughout the tunnels. They should be worried, Rodriguez interjected. Long-range scanners detected multiple ships entering the system. Broadcasting on Earth fleet frequencies. Hope surged through the group. Kai turned to Valina. Reinforcements, she asked cautiously. Appears so. Though I don't know how they found us. Perhaps Commander Wei is as creative with orders as you are. Kai smiled genuinely. We might survive this yet. Yes, Valina agreed, her violet eyes holding his. We just might. The reinforcements weren't Earth fleet. Kravari cruisers, Rodriguez confirmed. 5 more vessels. Jamming all frequencies, Ortiz reported. No contact with horizon possible. Kai assessed their situation, 12 personnel, limited ammunition, dwindling supplies. Options? Surface compromised, Valina stated. Ground-penetrating sensors deployed. These caves won't hide us long. Dr. Nishimura approached. Commander, the native predators avoid the southeastern quadrant entirely. Meaning? Something there frightens even apex predators. Thermal anomalies indicate geothermal activity, Valina noted. Rodriguez, status. Ammunition 30%. 3 days rations maximum. We move southeast, Kai decided. Better facing unknown than certain capture. They traveled through narrowing tunnels. Temperature rose steadily, sulfurous odors intensified. Kravari search parties gaining, Ortiz warned. The tunnels opened into a massive cavern. A magma lake illuminated the space with orange light. Stone bridges crisscrossed above. End of the line, Rodriguez said. These bridges connect to another tunnel network, Valina observed. Crossing exposes us completely. No choice, Kai decided. Set charges at the entrance. Everyone prepare to cross. As they ventured onto the bridges, Valina touched Kai's arm. The codex contains defensive schematics. I can construct a barrier if we reach the other side. How long? 10 minutes. We'll buy you time. The Kravari attacked mid-crossing. Warriors swarmed from the tunnel despite Ortiz's detonated charges. Defensive positions. Valina reached the far side with Dr. Nishimura. She activated the codex, generating crystalline structures that grew from the stone. The Kravari advanced relentlessly. 3 officers fell. Rodriguez continued fighting despite injuries. Fall back to Valina's position, Kai ordered. Controlled retreat. Kai covered the withdrawal. A Kravari commander emerged, larger, with ornate markings, wielding a staff weapon. Surrender the Selenarian Codex, it demanded through a translator. So I've been told, Kai replied, retreating. The commander fired, destroying the bridge beneath Kai. He dangled above magma, feeling searing heat. Valina leapt from safety, energy blade blazing. She struck the commander, severing its weapon arm, then pulled Kai to safety. I thought you needed 10 minutes, Kai gasped. I estimated conservatively, she replied with faint humor. They reached the crystal barrier as it sealed. Through translucent walls, they watched Kravari forces gather. Will this hold? Kai asked. Temporarily. It absorbs energy weapons, but physical force will eventually break through. Rodriguez detected an auxiliary communications array. By boosting signals through crystal structures, they contacted the horizon. We've completed repairs, Wei reported. Standing by for extraction coordinates. Lock onto our signal. Immediate evacuation needed. Deploying shuttle. ETA 20 minutes. Valina identified a chamber ahead with a natural chimney to the surface, suitable for extraction. The barrier began failing as Kravari deployed sonic disruptors. The extraction chamber featured a vertical shaft extending upward to daylight. As the barrier collapsed, Kravari forces poured through. Defensive circle, Kai ordered. Conserve ammunition. The humans formed a perimeter with Valina beside Kai. His injuries slowed him, but adrenaline compensated. I'm sorry I involved you, Valina said quietly. My choice. No regrets. The Kravari overwhelmed them with superior numbers. Rodriguez fell. Then Ortiz. Valina activated the codex, illuminating the chamber with blue energy. There's another option. What? Prototype shield technology. It could protect us until extraction arrives. Why not mention this before? Activation requires a psychic anchor. A consciousness to maintain the field. She met his gaze. Mine. What happens to the anchor? Neural degradation. Potentially permanent. Absolutely not. Not your decision, Commander. The Kravari commander appeared with elite warriors. Surrender the Selenari female and device. Valina stepped forward. If I surrender, will you spare these humans? Kravari do not negotiate, the commander replied. The directive is extinction. I thought as much. The codex pulsed with increasing intensity. Commander Reyes, get your people to extraction. Not without you. She smiled sadly. Selenari value life above all. Even one's own. The codex hovered between them. It was an honor fighting beside you. Energy erupted, forming a shield around the humans. Valina remained outside, facing the Kravari alone. Kai pounded against the impenetrable barrier, watching Valina battle with incredible skill. The humans retreated toward the extraction point. The Horizon's shuttle appeared, lowering cables. Commander, we must go, urged Dr. Nishimura. The shield contracted, pushing them toward safety. Kai saw Valina falter under the commander's blow. "Get everyone aboard," Kai ordered, seizing a weapon. "Sir." "That's an order." When the shield dissipated, Kai charged back. The Kravari surrounded injured Valina, who clutched the codex defiantly. Kai fired with precision, dropping several warriors. He tossed a thermal charge into a magma vent, creating chaotic eruptions. He reached Valina. "Time to go." "The codex." "Bring it." "That's an order." They fought to the extraction point as magma levels rose. The shuttle hovered precariously. "The chamber's becoming unstable," Wei warned. "Can't maintain position much longer." They reached the cables as Kravari warriors emerged from smoke. The commander fired, missing them but severing an adjacent cable. The shuttle accelerated upward. They emerged into daylight as the ground collapsed, taking Kravari forces with it. In the medical bay, Dr. Nishimura treated Valina. Neural scans show significant strain patterns. Valina's eyes opened slowly. "But I survived." Kai approached. "That was either bravest or most foolish thing I've witnessed." "Perhaps both," she acknowledged weakly. "The codex?" "Secure. As are you." The shuttle docked with the horizon. Wei reported Kravari reinforcements regrouping, leaving a narrow escape window. As medical teams transported the wounded, Kai remained beside Valina. She clutched the codex, its glow steady. "Your people would be proud," he said quietly. "They valued knowledge and preservation above conquest." Her voice strengthened. "As do yours. Some of us, anyway." The horizon broke orbit. Whatever pursued them would return, but for now, they had survived. In the observation lounge, both bearing marks of their ordeal, Kai watched distant stars with Valina beside him. "What happens now?" she asked. "We rebuild. We prepare." He turned to her. "Together." For the first time, she smiled fully. "Together," she agreed. The horizon limped through space, drive core operating at minimal capacity. 8 days had passed since their escape from Proxima Outpost. The Kravari hadn't pursued, yet. Kai stood in the medical bay, reviewing casualty reports. 4 dead, 7 injured. High cost for rescuing 1 alien refugee. "Second thoughts, Commander?" Valina asked from her recovery bed. "Assessing outcomes," he corrected. "Standard procedure." "And your assessment?" "We'd do it again." She nodded, understanding the weight of his decision. The neural strain from generating the shield had left her weakened, but Dr. Nishimura reported steady recovery. "Commander to the bridge," Wei's voice announced over comms. On the bridge, tactical displays showed their position relative to Earth-controlled space. "Status?" Kai asked. Long-range sensors detected Kravari communication patterns, Wei reported. "They're mobilizing a significant force. Intelligence analysis suggests they're preparing for full incursion into human territory. The Dominion doesn't tolerate interference," Valina explained, entering the bridge despite medical orders. "By protecting me, humanity has been categorized as a threat." "So much for staying under the radar," Rodriguez muttered. "Estimated time until they reach Earth colonies?" Kai asked. 3 weeks at current trajectory, Wei answered. "Earth fleet is mobilizing, but our military intelligence on Kravari capabilities is minimal." "Then we provide it," Kai decided. He turned to Valina. "You mentioned defensive technologies in the Codex." "Yes. Selenari developed planetary shields, stealth systems, and non-lethal countermeasures." She hesitated. "But implementation requires materials not found in Earth's technological inventory." "Specify." "Crystal matrices with specific quantum properties. The Selenari mined them from our home system's asteroid belt." Kai studied star charts. Could similar materials exist in our system? Potentially. The crystalline structures in those caverns shared properties with Selenari technology. Wei approached. Commander, UNSF headquarters is demanding full report on first contact protocols and your unconventional decisions. They'll have to wait, Kai replied. Set course for Jupiter's Trojan asteroids. If compatible materials exist in our system, that's where we'll find them. Sir, Fleet Command explicitly ordered. I'm aware, Commander Wei. But we have approximately 3 weeks before an extinction-level threat reaches Earth colonies. Technical specifications take priority over bureaucratic reprimands. Wei nodded, understanding the gravity of their situation. The journey to Jupiter's orbit required 10 days at their damaged drive capacity. Valina spent the time working with engineering teams, modifying sensors to detect the specific crystal formations she needed. Kai found her in the science lab, surrounded by holographic mineral analyses. Progress? Promising, she replied. These readings suggest compatible formations in the L4 cluster. She'd adapted remarkably well to human technology and social dynamics. The crew had initially maintained cautious distance, but her willingness to share knowledge and assist with repairs gradually earned their trust. We're approaching the asteroid field, Kai noted. Survey shuttle launches in 2 hours. I should join the expedition team. Dr. Nishimura hasn't cleared you for field operations. Commander, Valina said firmly, no human can identify the correct crystalline resonance patterns. This isn't stubbornness, it's practical necessity. Kai considered this. Limited exposure. You remain on the shuttle while drones collect samples. 3 hours later, they navigated through the asteroid field. Valina monitored sensor readings while Rodriguez piloted the shuttle. Resonance pattern detected, she announced. Asteroid designation JT-2347. The shuttle approached a tumbling rock approximately 2 kilometers in diameter. Surface scan complete, Rodriguez reported. Detecting crystalline deposits along the eastern ridge. Deploy collection drones, Kai ordered. As the drones gathered samples, long-range sensors detected an approaching vessel. Kravari scout ship, Rodriguez confirmed. They must have followed our trajectory. Evasive maneuvers. Recall drones immediately. The shuttle accelerated away from the asteroid, but the Kravari vessel possessed superior engines. It gained steadily. They're charging weapons, Rodriguez warned. Shuttle shields won't withstand direct hit, Valina stated. But these asteroids contain metallic compounds that could disrupt their targeting systems. Can you interface with our deflector array? She nodded, fingers moving across the controls. Reconfiguring to emit polarized radiation burst. The radiation pulse scattered across surrounding asteroids, creating multiple false signatures. The Kravari weapons fired, striking empty space as the shuttle dove between rocky masses. That bought us minutes, not hours, Kai noted. Did we get enough crystal samples? Valina examined the collection containers. Sufficient for prototype development. Not full implementation. Horizon, this is Commander Reyes. Emergency extraction needed. Kravari hostiles pursuing. Acknowledged, Wei responded. Deploying countermeasures. Approach vector transmitted. The shuttle raced toward the horizon, weaving through asteroid debris. Behind them, the Kravari scout fired repeatedly, shots coming progressively closer. We won't make it, Rodriguez assessed grimly. Valina accessed the shuttle's auxiliary systems. The crystal samples can amplify our shield harmonics. It's theoretical, but... Do it, Kai ordered. She placed a crystal fragment into the shield emitter housing. It glowed with increasing intensity as she adjusted frequencies. When the next Kravari shot struck, the shield didn't collapse, instead, it absorbed and redirected the energy in a luminous wave. It worked. Rodriguez exclaimed. Temporarily, Valina cautioned. The crystal structure is destabilizing. They reached the Horizon's shuttle bay moments before the improvised shield failed completely. As they disembarked, the ship lurched into emergency acceleration. Kravari reinforcements detected, Wei explained as they reached the bridge. Full battle group. We're implementing evasive protocols. The Horizon slipped behind Jupiter's massive bulk, using its gravitational field and radiation belts for cover. Did you secure the materials? Wei asked. Kai nodded toward the sample containers. Enough for prototype development. Development of what, exactly? Valina activated a holographic display from the codex. Complex schematics formed in the air between them. A quantum communication network, she explained. Instantaneous transmission across any distance. It would allow Earth forces to coordinate defense without Kravari interception capability. And this will stop a full invasion force? Wei asked skeptically. No, Valina acknowledged. But combined with shield harmonics and stealth technologies, it provides tactical advantage. Over the next week, the Horizon raced toward Earth while Valina worked with engineering teams to implement Selenari designs using the harvested crystals. Messages from UNSF Command alternated between demands for mission reports and increasingly desperate requests for tactical information on Kravari capabilities. Kai found Valina in her makeshift lab, crystalline components assembled into elegant configurations. Earth's Defense Council has requested your presence, he informed her. Admiral Winters wants first-hand intelligence on Dominion tactics. And my status? Refugee or prisoner? Officially, visiting strategic consultant. Kai smiled slightly. Unofficially, humanity's best hope against extinction. Valina's violet eyes met his. You've risked everything for someone not of your species. Why? Same reason you nearly sacrificed yourself for us. Some principles transcend biology. As Earth filled the view screen, Valina stood beside Kai on the observation deck. Her silver-blue features reflected the blue-green planet's light. It's beautiful, she said softly. Like Selenar once was. Perhaps someday you could help terraform a world. Recreate what was lost. Perhaps. She touched the codex. Knowledge survives when protected by those who understand its value. Wei approached, interrupting their moment. Commander, Earth Defense Fleet approaching. Admiral Winters requests immediate communication. Patch him through, Kai ordered. As they prepared to face bureaucratic consequences and looming invasion, Valina placed her hand briefly on Kai's arm. Whatever comes, she said, my people's legacy couldn't have found better guardians. Kai nodded, understanding the weight of what they'd begun together, an alliance born of crisis that might yet become something more. Welcome to Earth, Valina. Last of the Selenari, first of new beginnings.